Today, we're diving deep into the world of luxury, precision, and timeless prestige. We're telling the story of a brand that's more than just a watch. It's a symbol of achievement, an icon of exploration, and a masterpiece of engineering. That's right, we're exploring the incredible history of Rolex. Our story begins not in the rolling hills of Switzerland, but in London, in 1905. A visionary 24-year-old German named Hans Wilsdorf, along with his brother-in-law Alfred Davis, founded a company called Wilsdorf and Davis. Their business was simple yet revolutionary. They imported high-quality Swiss movements, placed them in elegant British cases, and sold them to jewelers who would then put their own names on the dials. But Hans Wilsdorf had a much bigger dream. At the time, wristwatches were seen as delicate, inaccurate pieces of jewelry, mainly for women. Pocket watches were the standard for men. Wilsdorf, however, believed passionately in the future of the wristwatch. He was convinced it could be both elegant and reliable. To achieve this, he needed a brand name. He wanted something short, easy to pronounce in any language, and memorable. In 1908, he landed on the perfect word: Rolex. He later said the name sounded like a watch being wound. The name was registered, and the journey of a legend truly began. Wilsdorf's obsession was accuracy. He knew that for his wristwatches to be taken seriously, they had to be as precise as the best pocket watches. He relentlessly pursued official timekeeping certifications. In 1910, a Rolex was the first wristwatch in the world to receive the Swiss Certificate of Chronometric Precision. This was a huge milestone. Then, in 1914, the Kew Observatory in Great Britain awarded a Rolex wristwatch a Class A Precision Certificate, a distinction previously reserved exclusively for marine chronometers. The world was starting to take notice. Rolex wasn't just a pretty face, it was a serious timekeeping instrument. After World War I, Wilsdorf made a strategic move. To be closer to his suppliers of high-quality movements in Vienna, Switzerland, he moved his entire operation to Geneva in 1920, a city already renowned for its watchmaking prowess. The company was registered as Montre Rolex SA, and this is where the brand has remained ever since. Now, accuracy was one thing, but Wilsdorf knew there was another major weakness in wristwatches. They were vulnerable to dust and moisture seeping in through the crown and case back. His next great challenge was to create a truly waterproof watch. And in 1926, he unveiled a masterpiece of innovation, the Rolex Oyster. This was the world's first waterproof and dust-proof wristwatch. It featured a hermetically sealed case, which Wilsdorf cleverly compared to the shell of an oyster for its impenetrable nature. To prove its revolutionary capabilities, he needed a brilliant marketing stunt. The opportunity came in 1927. A young English swimmer named Mercedes Gleitze was preparing to swim the English Channel. Wilsdorf saw his chance. He equipped her with a Rolex Oyster for her grueling swim. Although she didn't complete the full crossing due to the extreme cold, the watch she wore around her neck emerged from the water in perfect working order. To celebrate, Rolex took out a full-page ad on the front of London's Daily Mail newspaper, announcing the triumph of the waterproof watch. This event cemented Rolex's reputation for ruggedness and reliability, and it was a masterclass in marketing that set the tone for decades to come. With the Oyster case conquering the elements, Rolex turned its attention to another innovation. Winding your watch every day was a chore, and unscrewing the crown to do so could compromise its waterproof seal. The solution arrived in 1931 with the invention and patenting of the perpetual rotor. This was a self-winding mechanism, a semicircular plate that rotated freely with the motion of the wearer's arm, constantly winding the mainspring. The modern automatic watch was born. The combination of the Oyster case and the perpetual movement is the foundation of Rolex's identity to this day. The 1930s and 40s saw Rolex continuing to refine its technology, but the post-war era of the 1950s was a true golden age of innovation. The world was entering a new age of exploration. conquering the highest peaks, the deepest oceans, and the skies. Rolex was right there, creating purpose-built tool watches for these new frontiers. In 1953, two groundbreaking models were launched. First, the Rolex Explorer. To prove its mettle, it accompanied Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay on their historic first ascent of Mount Everest. The watch performed flawlessly in the extreme conditions, and the Explorer became a symbol of adventure and human achievement. That same year, Rolex dove deep with the introduction of the Submariner. Initially guaranteed waterproof to 100 meters, it was the first diver's watch of its kind. Its rotating bezel allowed divers to monitor their immersion time, making it an essential piece of safety equipment. The Submariner quickly became an icon, not just for divers, but for anyone who appreciated its rugged good looks and robust engineering. It's arguably one of the most recognizable and influential watch designs in history. But Rolex didn't stop there. As intercontinental air travel boomed with the dawn of the jet age, pilots needed a watch that could track multiple time zones. In collaboration with Pan American World Airways, Rolex developed the GMT Master in 1955. Its distinctive two-tone 24-hour bezel, originally in red and blue, famously nicknamed the Sipsiswak, Pepsi. And the extra GMT hand allowed pilots to track their home time and local time simultaneously. It was an instant hit. The 1950s also saw the launch of the Day Date in 1956. Crafted only in precious metals like gold or platinum, it was the first wristwatch to display the day of the week spelled out in full in a window on the dial, in addition to the date. Worn by presidents, leaders, and visionaries, it quickly became known as the President's Watch, and remains the ultimate symbol of prestige and influence. And for those with a need for speed, 1963 brought the Cosmograph Daytona. Named after the famous racetrack in Florida, it was designed specifically for professional race car drivers. Its tachymetric scale on the bezel allowed drivers to measure average speeds, making it the perfect companion for the world of motorsports. While not an immediate success, the Daytona, especially models worn by actor and racing enthusiast Paul Newman, would later become one of the most sought-after and collectible watches in the world. Throughout the 20th century and into the 21st, Rolex has never stopped innovating. They've developed their own proprietary materials, like the corrosion-resistant 904L steel, now called oyster steel, and their fade-proof ceramic bezel inserts, known as Cerachrome. They established their own foundry to create their own gold alloys. The company operates with a level of vertical integration that is almost unheard of, controlling every aspect of the manufacturing process to ensure uncompromising quality. From the wrists of explorers and pioneers to presidents and artists, Rolex has become more than a time-telling device. It represents a personal milestone, a legacy to be passed down through generations, and a testament to the enduring power of quality, precision, and timeless design. Hans Wilsdorf's original vision of creating a reliable and elegant wristwatch has been surpassed beyond his wildest dreams. The brand he created has not just kept time, it has defined it for over a century. What's your favorite Rolex model? Or what's your favorite moment from the brand's history? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive. Until next time, stay curious,